car rental company Hertz just announced that they have placed an order for 100,000 Tesla Model 3s that they plan to add to their fleet. In this video, I'm going to discuss why this is such a big deal, this huge order from Hertz. And it's not the 100,000 cells itself, it's a lot more than that. We'll discuss that. I also want to talk about the lithium iron phosphate battery changes that Tesla recently announced for their standard range vehicles and talk about how that really makes this kind of deal possible. So without further ado, let's dive into the details. According to the official Hertz press release that announced this purchase, quote, "As consumer interest in electric vehicles skyrockets, Hertz today is announcing a significant investment to offer the largest EV rental fleet in North America and one of the largest in the world. This includes an initial order of 100,000 Teslas by the end of 2022 and new EV charging infrastructure across the company's global operations." They also went on to talk a little bit more about the charging infrastructure they're going to put in place, saying, Hertz is also installing thousands of chargers throughout its location network. Beyond Hertz installing chargers at their locations, they also have a banner right now on the Hertz website when you go to the EV section, and this banner reads, "Limited time only, charging included. Enjoy charging on us when you book a Tesla Model 3 and charge at Tesla network chargers before February 1st, 2022. Before I dive into the reasons why this is such a big deal, I think it's important that we talk just briefly about which Tesla Model 3 variant that Hertz ordered. First of all, on their website, they mentioned that the Model 3 that they ordered will have a range of up to 260 miles. Now, do note that the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus right now for sale on the Tesla website has a range of 262 miles. So there are several reasons why maybe they mentioned 260 instead of 262. The first reason is they may just be rounding down slightly. However, we know that Tesla is transitioning to lithium iron phosphate batteries for all their standard range vehicles, obviously including the Standard Range Plus. In the Q3 2021 investors letter, Tesla mentioned, quote, "For standard range vehicles, we are shifting to lithium iron phosphate battery chemistry globally." So it seems pretty obvious that the Standard Range Plus Model 3s that Hertz ordered will be the lithium iron phosphate versions, and I'll talk more about the benefits of that in just a minute. However, it is interesting to note that the standard range version with the LFP battery that Tesla briefly offered to buyers earlier this year, that had an EPA estimated range of 253 miles. It seems like Tesla might be offering a slightly larger lithium iron phosphate battery pack for this new version coming, or there's a possibility that with software, they're allowing a smaller buffer and allowing more usable capacity from the same size battery as before. Either way, it appears like the lithium iron phosphate Standard Range Plus Model 3 will have an EPA rated range somewhere between 260 miles and maybe even the 262 miles that's listed right now. After all, the current range that's listed at 262 miles did slightly change around September of this year. As I tweeted out on September 3rd, does anyone know why the Tesla Standard Range Plus Model 3 EPA range dropped from 263 miles to 262 miles? It now makes sense to me that this change from 263 miles of range to 262 miles of range may be because of a change to the lithium iron phosphate battery packs, and I believe it's possible that Tesla's new lithium iron phosphate battery packs for the Standard Range Plus Model 3 will allow an EPA rated range of around 262 miles. Now, with all the other electric vehicles on the market, why did Hertz choose the Tesla Model 3? I believe there are several really key reasons for this. First of all, Tesla is clearly the most popular EV brand, and by stocking Teslas in their fleet, they're most likely to draw more renters and more media attention. The demand is so strong for Tesla's vehicles. For instance, if you want to buy a Standard Range Plus Model 3 right now, you have to wait till June of 2022 to receive delivery of that vehicle. The second big reason why I believe Hertz chose Tesla, and this is more Tesla as a general brand and not just the Model 3, is because of the global supercharging network. As of Tesla's Q3 2021 investors update, they had globally 3,254 supercharger stations, and at these stations there are 29,281 individual supercharger connectors. And I know I've mentioned this a lot in the past, but it's really important that we point this out once again, but the supercharging network for Tesla is a huge advantage, not only for owners, but also for renters, because Hertz knows that they can rent these Teslas to customers and that they're going to be able to find charging locations throughout the United States and of course throughout Europe as well. As I talked about, they're going to be deploying these fleets in Europe as well. So we've talked a lot about the press release and the details of the press release and also why Hertz likely chose Tesla. But now I want to talk about why this matters a lot for Tesla. Why is this a big deal for Tesla? First of all, this allows for a huge amount of free advertising for Tesla. Obviously, Tesla does not currently pay for traditional media and traditional advertising. However, they do benefit from a lot of different things, including now this new purchase from Hertz. Right now, if you go to hertz.com/EV, it pulls up a page that has a lot of information specific to the Tesla Model 3, in a sense, advertising the Tesla Model 3. It mentions that the Tesla Model 3 is a supercomputer on wheels, and if you click on the button that says Explore Model 3, you get a lot more information about that. It has another section that says Cruise Control Reinvented, and it talks about Tesla's autopilot software. And beyond that, Hertz has created an entire ad campaign that they're going to be, I assume, running on television. I've already seen these ads running on social media, and this ad campaign features Tom Brady. So these ads will be going around featuring Tesla's vehicles and of course Hertz, the brand as well, but this is going to be free advertising for Tesla. And this is just incredible that they're able to get this free advertising and they don't have to actually spend money for it, but rather they're selling their cars to Hertz and Hertz is in turn advertising for them. It's a pretty incredible deal because of just the brand value of Tesla. Another benefit that Tesla gets from this deal is it allows people to test their electric vehicles, test a Tesla Model 3, test drive it for an extended period of time, whether that be specific to test the vehicle or if it's just going on a business trip and they're curious about the Tesla Model 3. But as a lot of people talk about in the Tesla community, if you get butts in seats, if you get people to experience a Tesla vehicle, they're likely, a lot more likely to buy an electric vehicle, to buy a Tesla electric vehicle. And so this is going to be huge for Tesla. They already have so much demand right now they can't hardly keep up. However, they do have several new factories opening up, hopefully by the end of this year or early next year. Gigafactory Berlin and also Gigafactory Austin, Texas. And although I believe Tesla's demand will continue to be strong, I believe deals like this will only make that even more so and will allow Tesla to continue to ramp up production through these gigafactories that I mentioned and also maybe even future gigafactories and continue to grow as a company. The last topic that I want to discuss in this video is why the lithium iron phosphate battery change that Tesla is making to their standard range vehicles, why this is actually, I believe, a really key reason why this deal was made possible. The lithium iron phosphate battery packs have a few characteristics that are very ideal for the rental market. The first of these benefits that I believe really applies specifically to rental fleets is the fact that in general, lithium iron phosphate batteries have a longer life than nickel cobalt aluminum battery cells. So for a commercial rental fleet, this seems to make a lot of sense. The other big benefit that I want to mention about lithium iron phosphate battery packs is the fact that they can be charged fully to 100% regularly without hurting the battery pack. Nickel cobalt aluminum battery packs should really only regularly be charged to 80 or 90% to prevent a lot of battery degradation. Elon Musk mentioned this in an August 2021 tweet when he mentioned, "Our intent with this pack," referring to the lithium iron phosphate battery pack, "is that the product experience is roughly equivalent between nickel and iron. I'd personally opt for iron pack as it wants to be charged to 100%, whereas nickel prefers 90%. When you take a look at what this actually means for usable range and compare a nickel cobalt aluminum pack with a 262-mile range charged to 90%, that gives you 236 miles of usable range for your daily 90% charge. However, even a lithium iron phosphate battery pack like the previous version that Tesla offered here in America shortly, with a range of 253 miles, at a 100% charge, that gives you 253 miles of range, greater than the NCA battery. So in conclusion, I think this is not only a good deal for Hertz because I believe they're going to get new customers from this and a lot of brand awareness because of this deal, but I believe, as I mentioned, this is also a big deal for Tesla. Do let me know what you think in the comments section below about this deal. Also, let me know if you look forward to renting a Tesla vehicle from Hertz as well. Well, thank you so much for watching this video all the way through to the end. I'd like to take a moment to thank the Patreon supporters who support me every month and help make this content possible. A special thank you to my performance supporters and also the other supporters listed on the screen. If you'd like to find out more about the Patreon community I've set up, I'll put a link in the description below. Thank you so much.